Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another episode of Poetry and Perspective with Placide. I am your kind hostess, Cindy Placide. Guys, I have missed you all so much, okay? I have missed you guys so much. And I have been down and out, but I am back, and y'all know I always come back to deliver. Now, today, guys, I have an amazing guest. But before I tell you about the little amazing guest that I have, we have so much to talk about. But if I bring him back on, okay, I know he was on the screen earlier, but before I bring him back on, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am Cindy Placid. I am a poet, author, advocate. Okay, I advocate for mental illness, autism. I advocate for tonothrompic dysplasia, domestic violence. I also advocate for sexual assault and also cervical cancer. And I also, there's another one, keep forgetting. Okay, I remember it later. But but today we are here with amazing poet who's going to indulge us, who's going to tell us about himself. And we found out the two of us found out something amazing, and I'm excited to tell you. But let me tell you why I decided to do why I decided to advocate for so many things. There's so much that somebody can do, right? But I am not going to go over my limit. But I do know that all of these things that I'm advocating for, suicide prevention and everything else, I am a product of these things. Okay. So I am advocating for them because I want to give voice to the voiceless. Let others be heard and let them know that they are not alone in the struggle. So many of us, we face so many things and we hide behind it and we don't talk about it. So, guys, this is what Poetry and Perspective is all about, to speak to the poets, to hear from the stories who they are, read into their stories to see their personality, to see the deepest things that they encounter, and to be able to just vibe and to know their work and to promote them, to let other people know where they are and who they are. So you are on Poetry and Perspective with Placide. My guest tonight is Mr. Anthony Avril. Okay, he is from St. Lucia. He resides in St. Lucia, actually. And during our conversation, I'm going to let y'all know what I was so excited about earlier. So, without further ado, I know we're running late. It is my fault. Today, was crazy, but God is good. So, please welcome with me Mr. Anthony Avril as I bring him back on the screen. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, hi.
How are you
Glad to be here.
doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. What about you?
I am tired, but I feel amazing.
All right, I can see that. Not the tired part, the amazing.
The amazing part. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Well, Anthony, could you please, you know, enlighten my viewers? Say hello to my viewers. Let them know who you are, where you're from. We're going to go in depth into a few things. You don't know your questions I have. I don't like to give my guests the questions. So I don't even have a question sheet, but I know what I want to talk about. Okay.
Right, got you.
Please tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and we start with that.
All right, cool. Well, my name is Anthony Avril. I am the second Anthony Avril, and my son is the third Anthony Avril. So already off the bat, I can say I'm a proud dad. Family is very important to me. Not just my immediate family, but family on the whole. And I am a writer, but I like the title of poet more than anything else because poetry is what I started with. Poetry is my passion as well. In
Mm-hmm.
regards to where I'm from, I'm born and raised from the community of Balata, Castries, St. Lucia. But
Mm-hmm.
I have family all over, so I like to say that I'm a product of the island St. Lucia, having lived at various points in my life in different parts of the country.
That is
Yeah, that's just me in a nutshell right there.
that is beautiful. Now, speaking about family, what
Mhm.
I was so excited. First of all, I would just like to let you guys know that I had if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Anthony Avril is with the Blind Welfare Association is related to you?
Yes, that is my dad, Anthony Avril the first.
Okay. So I had a pleasure of interviewing him on this show. Okay.
Oh wow.
Because I was advocating for, not advocating, but I was doing we were doing a fundraiser for the Blind Blind Welfare Association, which I'm still trying to get in
Yes.
touch with them till today, but I can't. But I hope that I'll be able to get in touch with them back over there. So the reason why I'm so excited, guys, is because I found out only yesterday that Anthony is my cousin. He's my cousin. And how did I find out? It's because I always post my flyers and my whatever. I forget what I call it, but I always post my flyers. And then one of my cousins that I had on the show said, he said that was I saw he liked it, and then he said that's my nephew. I'm going, wait a minute. So that's my, I said, so wait a minute. So that who's his mom? And so I was just so excited to know that you are my cousin. So yay!
Yes.
Let me tell you, Anthony, we have poetry, we have writing in our blood.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
telling you, it's in
starting to
our blood.
realize that. Hmm.
What's that?
No, I say I'm starting to realize that that's in the past year I've noticed that poetry is definitely in our blood. Hmm.
Yes, we artistic. Okay, so
Yes.
listen. I may just maybe beginning to discover who my relatives are. Okay, so I'm a family, like you said, I'm a very oriented person. I like to know who I'm related to, and because it helps you discover who you are, why you make up the way you are, and the different characteristics of your personality. And
Right.
so it is important for me to know who my relatives are. And when I do know who my family is, I always bond with them. I always have communication with them. Okay,
Right.
so that's
Right.
important to me. So let me see who we have on, because if I don't start saying hello to the viewers, they're gonna start getting at me. So I gotta say hello. So I want to say hello to Richie Vondruk. Oh, hi Richie, how are you? And I like to say hello to my dear friend Neil Seri. Do you know Neil Seri? That's my buddy there,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my buddy. So Richie said it is best you start making that name pass to future generation. Your son Anthony Avril, and then his son Anthony Avril, and then his Anthony Avril. You get the okay, Richie, I got you. Yes, I got you. And Neil was just laughing. Yeah. So Anthony, please,
Mhm.
you are an executive writer and sales professional. Okay, so that's your profession. So please tell us what, first of all, how you started as. Oh, he said thou art in the house. Oh, so you were a member of thou art.
Yes, definitely.
Look at that, Neil. You're bad. He didn't tell me about my cousin. He said, boom. Yeah. So yeah. So please tell us
Right.
what inspired you to start writing.
Well, I started writing from when I was in school. I always had a passion for literature. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, from the tender age of maybe 9 or 10, I already knew I wanted to be a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I already had an idea that a pen and paper was what I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I originally thought that my calling was in journalism,
Mm-hmm.
and that was then my childhood self. So that was my attempt of me trying to put a business perspective on writing,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of mindset towards things is something that I think I got really from my mom because she's
Mm-hmm.
very practical. So she always inspires me to try and put things down, but literally on paper and see
Mm-hmm.
how it works out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as I grew and I went into secondary school, I attended St. Mary's College, and it was there that I was introduced to my literature teacher and also the theater instructor, Miss Gloria Severin, and
Mm-hmm.
she really brought out. She exposed me to the passion of theater, to the beautiful world of theater, the different aspects of it, and I really started to connect with the arts from then. I started writing my first few poems, and until it wasn't until my first summer job where I worked uh, part time just during the summer at Shine Studios, which was owned at the time by Lisa and Hilary Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
And Shine Studios, they did telebituaries. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the ways that I found myself useful was that I wrote poems for the persons who would want maybe a memorial, or they would just want something to honor their loved one who has passed. So that
Mm-hmm.
was when I actually started making money from writing, from
Wow,
poetry. So
that
since
is
secondary
awesome.
school, yeah.
That is awesome. And I think that's where I started too, because I was always, as a young person, I had always channeled whatever I was going through my writing. And so I used to write very early. And I remember I think I told that story before. I remember that I performed one of my poems at the cultural center in Castries. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was the cultural center in Castries. And I think that was one of the most exhilarating things for me, because I finally got to put my work out there,
Hmm.
and it is absolutely amazing when you can um, achieve that goal of allowing the audience, allowing others to hear what you have to offer. And it's it always the opportunity starts in the places that we wouldn't even expect it to start, but
Hmm.
we get those opportunities.
Yeah,
um I
I get
wanted to ask you, so you were into, you wrote for the obituaries. At what point did you decide, okay, let me move away from that and
it.
try to do things on my own and do my own stuff? Because it says that you were executive writer. So did you only just write that? Did you move away from that at some point? And what did you start writing? What did you start writing? Books? Did you start writing, articles? What did you start writing?
So it wasn't until that I had left school that I shifted away from poetry.
Mm-hmm.
I attended Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, and I was still very heavy in my poetry, very heavy in theater and acting as well. So I at that time I got exposed to the whole spoken word movement,
Mm-hmm.
and I found that this is it. This is exactly what I needed, a way to combine my literature with my theater, and I just dove into it and pretty much focused on spoken word poetry. So for a very
Mm-hmm.
long time, even um, during my time at Sir Lewis, and even after that, for probably the next 5 or 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I was focused on spoken word. I had been in competitions, performing different places, and making my living off of that. It wasn't until it wasn't until when I got into sales, when I got my first real sales job. I say real sales job because that's when I felt like I was really making some money in it. But
Okay.
um, when I really got into sales, my writing sort of took a shift. I got introduced to ghostwriting, and I was challenged to create a course on a topic that I had no knowledge of. So I had to go research it and create a course on it and make it that somebody could read it, learn, understand, and then do an exam afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I got that experience. It really opened my mind to a lot of things. One, the possibility of my writing going beyond poetry, and also I was learning very profound information that was beyond my years at that time, and into fields that I probably never would have had the courage to venture into unless I was getting paid to do it. So
Awesome, awesome. I gotta be more like you sometimes. I gotta get into things that I'm getting paid to do. Okay.
yeah.
Yes. So, but I love serving people. I love to be able to help people. You know, even sometimes when I can't don't get, I feel just it's just to give a service. But that's amazing. Neil said that you're very talented. You supported our art, and they appreciate you so much. And I really do appreciate it as well. Now, so
Well,
cuz
all
I'm gonna
around.
call you cuz. Sometimes I'm gonna call you Anthony because I'm so excited that you're my cousin. Okay. Yeah, because
I like it.
um
I like it.
sometimes thank you. Sometimes we there are people who see that they have talent, they have this is what, but they don't what's the word I'm trying to find, they don't capitalize on what they see in themselves. What motivated you to continue to pursue that path?
Wow, that question right there. Let me tell you, some people spend their entire life trying to figure out what it is they're good at.
Hmm.
Some people spend their entire life trying to figure out what it is they like to do. But like I just said, from the age of 9, 10, I already knew that this is what I wanted to do. And it was just a matter of having to prove to everyone else that I could make it work.
Hmm.
Because the nature of our culture in St. Lucia, and I think generally around the world when it comes to the arts, especially in third world
Hmm.
countries, um, and I hope I don't offend anybody by saying that, but it is what it is. The nature of our society is that typically the arts you can't make money off of it. If you want to be an artist, it's like saying, "Here, you want to be a martyr for the cause and live your life in poverty."
Hmm.
And I never felt like that was what I was pushing my life towards. Even
Okay.
as a kid, even when everyone would tell me, you know, you sure you don't want to be a doctor or something else instead? You have a great mind. You could be a politician. You could do this. You could do that. But I already knew it was something within me that was really calling me and telling me, listen, this is what you want to do. This is where you want to go.
Hmm.
So it's not, and it wasn't an instant choice. Like to say, you know what, I know this is what I want to do. Let me just focus on that. It's something that has been constant. I have always been in that mindset that this is what I want to do. The real challenge was me not being discouraged, me not accepting um, all the pressure of different perspectives. And mind you, I'm not saying that a lot of the information, a lot of what is being said to me was not out of good intentions,
Hmm.
right? It is simply from a misunderstanding. And I had to understand myself, understand that
Yes.
I would not be happy doing something else.
And that's the thing people don't understand. It is okay for people to make suggestions on your life. It is okay for people to want what's better for you, and that's commendable. It is okay for people to see what you are going to be good at. But it is more important for you to know what is best for you and to know
Mhm,
your passion and to work on that passion and that drive. Right now, I saw it was a fire that started to burn and it just exploded into a flame.
mhm.
And I see that you are unstoppable. Because I can feel the passion and the fire you have in you for writing and for the literary arts.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it definitely is. It's there.
So people will be well meaning, but it's at the end of the day you have to decide what moves you, what makes you happy, and what is your passion, and what are you willing to do to continue to grow on that passion, continue to grow on that talent, continue to grow on that, most importantly, that gift. Okay,
Mhm.
when you're born with something, nothing can
Let me
take it
share
away from
something with you.
you. Mm-hmm.
Another thing too that really motivated me to continue going is that I know it had been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from St. Lucia, I'm blessed to say that we have a Nobel laureate for literature.
Mm-hmm.
And Sir Derek Walker has always been an inspiration for me. from the at the moment that I discovered we have a Nobel laureate for literature, and when I understood what that meant, and that was just it. That was like, yeah. So if he can do it, I can too. And that's where the dream really started.
Awesome, awesome. I think Dr. Walcott inspired a lot of young poets, a lot of young minds,
Mm,
to pursue their passion in poetry and the literary arts.
for sure.
Yes, I think he did that. So, without without further ado, before I ask you what I'm gonna ask the viewers, please. I have said this so many times, and I'm gonna continue to say it. We need you to share this live. Anytime I come on, you need to share my lives as many times as possible, because we need our views to go up, and we need, not more importantly than just we need more people to know about our talent in St. Lucia, what we're doing in St. Lucia. We don't have to be out of St. Lucia to be amazing people. You understand? There are amazing people everywhere in the world. And our little island, St. Lucia, I know a lot of people complain, but our little island, St. Lucia, we are a treasure trove of talent. I'm going to say it again. We are a treasure trove of talent. I have brought so many amazing young minds here. And thou art, they have amazing talent. Let me tell you,
Mhm.
up the day before yesterday, somebody was talking to me about Kishma area where the Coco Cooley, I could never forget it. All I can remember is the Coco Cooley poem. I said, why don't you replay this? And I'm going, okay, I will. And people love what is going on, because people love what's going on, because they know that this is a good venture, and people are loving the fact that I'm bringing different talent from different places to life. So we have a lot of solution. Somebody said, been trying to but won't let me. What is that? What does that mean? Facebook user, I don't know what you've been trying to. Clara
You're
Charles, good
probably
evening.
referring to the share. They were probably trying to share it,
I'm
and
trying to share. If you listen, if you are on my uh my group page, I'm still trying to figure out how to get it to share. If you are on my group page, Rise to Prosperity too, I can, first of all, I cannot see who is commenting, unless you allow me to see who you that you're commenting, say your name. And number two, I have not gotten to the point where I'm able to find the button. Maybe somebody will be able to help me to allow people in the group to share. And I've been working on it, and I got tired. But but if you are on this page, like my name Cindy Placid, with the show that comes on, you will be able to share. But on the group page, Rise to Prosperity too, I have not figured it out. So I apologize. I think this is one of the things that I'll have to I'll have to work on. Okay. So now, please. So Facebook user who's on the group page, please write your name so I could give you the proper greeting. And I also want to say hello to Yolanda Carter, who is all the way in Chicago watching, and she's one of my advocate sisters in in Chicago. So hello, my dear friend. And Clara Charles, of course. I can't remember where Clara is, but I think she's in some Caribbean island. I can't remember where she's, but hello. So now you can come here and be a poet and don't have a poem for you to read to us. You cannot. Hi, Lauren. How are you? Hi, Tessa Victor. How are you? You have to read us a poem, and you maybe two or three. I'm gonna stretch it a little bit, so maybe I'll let you do three. So, so please, before I
mm.
continue, I want to let you all know, guys, that this month, and I'm going to keep saying it throughout the show. This month, Neil said, "Are you sure you're ready for him?" No. The only thing I'm going to say, we I want the children to watch this show. Okay.
Okay.
I want the babies to watch this show. Okay.
Yeah. But PG
Yes.
13. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, PG-13,
Okay.
okay? Yes. So before I continue, before you read up, I just want to say, I'm going to say for the show this month, actually, is one of the things that I advocate for, which is oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. I advocate for suicide prevention, okay? And I would like to let everybody know, if you know somebody who is having a problem, who is feeling have is due to mental illness and is having thoughts of suicide. If you are in the United States of America, okay, I would like you to call this number, because it is important for people to understand how much so many people are going through. People are going through so much mental issues that is causing them to want to get to the point to take their lives. Okay, so if you are in the United States of America, it's on the screen. It's National Suicide Prevention Month, 10th to the 16th, and you can dial 988 or text 747 to get somebody to help you, so that you could talk to someone. Our lives are precious and we wouldn't want anybody to take their lives, so we would like you to call the suicide prevention. And if you are in St. Lucia, okay, and if you are in St. Lucia, I finally got the suicide hotline for St. Lucia. So if you are in St. Lucia, okay, and you are having a problem, this is the number, and you're feeling suicidal, this is the number I need you to call. It's on the screen right now. It's Solution Suicide Hotline is 203. I'll make sure I have that right. It is 203. So you can call this number to get help. Okay. So I am trying to cater for everyone, because I know everybody goes through issues. So I hope everybody got that. All right. So back to you. So
Definitely.
now the floor is yours.
All right, so let's see. First thing I want to do is just show persons a copy of one of my books.
Hold up, I'm going to tell them. Read the poem first.
Okay.
I have to talk specially about your book.
So let me think. Now I'm to try to keep it PG-14. So I have a nice piece. It's actually the introduction to the book. So
Uh-huh.
it's called Love, Chapter One.
Mm-hmm.
This
Okay.
is a story of a
Mm-hmm.
man in love
Mm-hmm.
who hated love but loved to be loved, who
Mm-hmm.
loved what he hated and hated what
Ooh.
he loved, who actually loved love but love hated him. This is a story of confusion where you will confuse this story with your own. Though this story is your own, it's one that you know, it's one that knows you, it's one where you find yourself so that you can be lost again. This is a story of bittersweet pain where you don't want the pain but need it to be sane. A story where pain feels good, but without pain, you are better. A story where you remember being hurt, and it hurts to remember, but you want to remember as much as you want to forget. A story where you forget that you have hurt others. This is a story of the past. For these events have passed. So there is no past. There is no future. For the future is a continuation of the present. For the past repeats itself. But then again, if it repeats itself, it's not history, only a different presentation, a manifestation of the present. This is a story of an end and a beginning, though no one knows when it began, though the story is as a means to an end, a story where ends meet, where the beginning and the end will start and the start will finish, but you will continue. This is a story of me, and I am the story.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm glad you like that one.
So you were talking about you.
Mm.
How did that come about? I'm cold. I'm cold. How? Yeah, Lauren said beautiful. Tell me, what
Thank
was
you.
going through your mind when you wrote that poem?
When I wrote that poem, I was looking for an introduction to the book. So I was thinking about what everything it was about. I wanted to show the contrast. I wanted it to be a contradiction, like every line to show that the two sides of the coin are still parts of the same coin. You know what I mean? And that is what I try to capture in every line of this story, of every line of this poem, and pretty much have it as an introduction to what's to come in the book.
Hmm. Wow, that's amazing. That's a wonderful introduction because you have to allow the readers to know who you are. And once they get to know who the writer is, then they read through that book. They won't be able to put it there.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. I was reading your book. Now, I had to ask Anthony to put his book down because I wanted to show his book. Okay, and
That was
now
too fast.
I cried because I should have told you that, but that's okay. That's good. So he's gonna show it to you, but I'm gonna show it to you on the screen because it's easier for him. It is you're gonna see it much
Right.
better. This is Anthony's book. Okay, now it's called Alicia's Umbrella.
Hmm.
Now, Alicia's umbrella. Let me just read what it says. Okay. Of course, you've seen a very seductive, very seductive young lady. It says "Cycle of Heartbreak." It says Alicia's umbrella is the first book in Anthony Avril's trilogy, The Wet Seas. Now, Anthony, you said the wet seas. That
Yes.
caught me off guard. What do you mean by the wet seas?
Well, it's definitely
You know, my mind is going other places, but go ahead.
yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. So I'm trying to make it a seductive journey. And whenever I think of journey, I think of voyages, I think of grand escapades. So, sailing the seven seas kind of thing. I wanted something that would, um, because the way the trilogy is set up to show the progression of a young man's mindset, a typical, well, I wouldn't say typical, but a young man's mindset growing up in the society that I grew up in, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like a microscope on his
Mm-hmm.
situations as well as situations he sees around him. So in the trilogy, it progresses from being this romantic, very fluffy, idealistic thing to this um, very raw, powerful extremities into a just this mixture. The last book is this mixture of feelings, and it's like everything has just put boiled down together to make a bouillon. This lovely one pot if all the ingredients were together.
Oh, well,
So the
that's a
true
good one,
flavor, yes, right.
Pot.
So the first book is called Elisa's Umbrella, Cycle of
Mhm.
Heartbreak. The second book is
Mhm.
called Mona Lisa's Smile,
Mhm.
Submissive Dominance. And the
Mhm.
third book is called Helen's Cry,
So the
Culturally Unfaithful.
poem that you read was from which book?
The first one, Elisa's Umbrella.
Okay. So when did the first book come out?
Oof. I published this book hmm, probably about 9 years ago, maybe more.
Wow.
I'm not sure. That first one was done then. The second book I released an ebook. Well, the second and third books I released ebook versions of them, but
Mhm.
I have since taken them down because I wanted to. I felt like those last two pieces were rushed. They were premature. So I wanted to it didn't capture the essence of what I wanted. So I'm still working on it. I'm actually about to re-release the second book, so persons can look forward to that very soon. And
Mm-hmm.
the third book, my timeline for it is for early next year, probably around my birthday.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now it looks erotic. Neil has whet my appetite because he said, "Am I ready for you?" So now, before I go to that, I want you to read something, and I think it's going to be unfair to the viewers if I don't let you read something deep in there. But let me say this. You said in the preface of the book, you said, in the collection of poetry, I constantly seek these one-sided answers to gain an outsider's perspective of my inner battles. What did you mean by that statement?
So what I mean by that is I'm basically trying to get person's opinion on my life.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a very flowery way of saying I'm trying to get person's opinion on my life. I'm trying to see if persons can relate to what I'm saying. If what I'm saying is so far fetched that it's unrelatable, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to see what persons think about it so that I can maybe learn from their perspectives as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because um, you, you know, all perspectives are just part of the bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure if we combine all the perspectives of the world together, we'll get the truth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's pretty much what it is.
Absolutely. So,
I
guys,
put
listen.
myself out there
This
to
is
connect.
Anthony Avril's book. It's called Alicia's Umbrella. You can get it on Amazon. Okay. Um, I don't know if you can, Anthony, but if you can, well, just look for Anthony. What do they look for on Amazon?
They can actually you can actually just Google search my name and the book will come up. So yeah, you can search the book Alisa's Umbrella. It'll pop up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty easy to get a copy of this. Whether you want the ebook or you want the printed version, it's on Amazon. So feel free to check it out. If you're in St. Lucia and you just want to get your hands on a physical copy, you can reach out to me as well, and I can get that to you.
Okay. Awesome. So now, I hope my computer don't start acting crazy because I have your book in my hand and I want to read it. Yes. So we are now we are going to ask that you read. I have your book, I bought your book.
Yes, I
I bought
noticed.
the ebook.
I
I will
figured
let
that
you know
was
what.
your eyes. Oh, where that seal come from?
And am I speaking
Have
to
you enjoyed
myself?
reading it so far?
Oh, yes. That's why I said I want. Let me tell you, you had me thinking of stuff I shouldn't be thinking right now. I'm a single woman, okay?
Don't worry, I'm gonna share the troubles with everyone soon.
Okay, so why don't you read us a poem now? I don't know if you getting the same feedback as I am because I think we are the connection that's been lost sometimes. So if
Right, yeah,
anytime you see that it lost, just stop so that we
okay,
could get everything. Again, if
no
you
problem.
see, just stop. If you see the connection is going bad, just stop and then continue again when we come back. Okay.
No, no problem.
So I don't know what is going on. I know my connection is really good over here. I check the signal is good, but I don't know what's happening. So we further is going on. Okay. Okay, some of my connection isn't still. So it's me. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me though?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, cool. So this piece is called Only Then,
This is family.
and it's found in Elisa's Umbrella as well. It's actually a crowd favorite, and you'll soon find out why.
Okay.
Mm, baby, light my blunt and I'll fly with you to wherever the high leads to. You can close your eyelids to bite your lips while I do you. The tips of my lips and my tongue connect with your neck. I taste and lick every inch and speck. You don't know what to expect, except you formulate your desires in your mind. So, to fulfill your fantasies, I must fully fill up inside. Oh, yes, this bliss is more than a ride. I am yours, and you are mine. We will never be over. Notice as your blouse straps slip off your shoulder, my moves become bolder. As I take it off, my shirt too goes over our heads and lands on the floor. More. My mouth flies south and rests on your heart, your paw. My tongue treads the trail, and your small moans fuel the fire. More, more. Sweep you off your feet, lay you on the bed. Swiftly, strongly tug your pants down your legs. That moment our bodies are spread, it is then, it is then that you arc your back, the sheets you grab, you reach, you grasp, breathe in and gasp. It is then only that you hold me, that you own me, that you slowly, slowly love and propose. You pull me close. I enter slow. Your moans and groans, baby. It is then, and only then, it is then that we survive.
Oh my God.
You alive? You good? You there?
You got water coming on my
Yo, so let me tell you a funny story about this poem.
Neil, I need a
Let me
oh
tell you
my
this.
gosh.
The last time I
Whew.
performed this poem on a stage, I had musical background. We did this jazz rendition to a Dexter Dapp song, and I I was advised to I was advised by the director to read to make this really impactful, to oil myself down, and then when I go on stage, take out my shirt. And when I went on the stage, there was this line of children in the front stage, front row seats. There's about 5 kids there. I said, you know what? I'm still gonna do this. I'm a professional. I'm just gonna do my performance. And by the time I started unbuttoning my shirt, the children started running out. The mothers start pulling their chairs closer to come and sit closer. And then when my shirt's off and then the poem is like midway through, the music is climaxing. I look into the crowd and I see this lady just fanning herself like, and I'm trying my best to just keep a straight face and just try to look sexy in the spotlight, but then this
Mm.
lady is killing me in the crowd. They're like,
Did
but
did you
yes,
did you get some winks?
very much. Yeah, like I said, it's a crowd favorite for a reason.
Hold on. You have me breathless. Listen, I'm a single woman,
I was
okay?
probably a Petrunius.
Oh my gosh, guys, that was hot. So I in love or I'm married, you need to how what I'm trying to find the right words to say
Well,
in
I
this
mean,
book.
at the end of
And
the day, we can also just say, you know what, we're cousins too.
oh my gosh, hold on. I'm having a little feedback here. That's not good. I'm having a little problem with my connection. I cannot hear everything that you're saying. My connection is going in and out, in and out, in and out. So I'm gonna try to log on my phone because this is too juicy for us to be. Yes. Hold on. Let me see if it's gonna allow me to.
Sure.
I don't know what is happening now that you finish reading the poem. Now the other juicy part. You can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. Because I wasn't hearing myself. I wasn't hearing everything you were saying. I'm going like, oh my God. Neil, why did you hide this man from me all this while? Eh? I am not talking to you anymore, Neil. And to find out this man is my cousin and he have all this juicy stuff. Let me tell you something, eh? I was speaking to my
Uh,
cousin and I said, we are hot-blooded creatures. Our our, our family, we hot-blooded creatures.
it is true. It is
And so
definitely
it
true.
does not surprise me, although although it set me on fire. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, my eyes watering, I'm hot, okay? But it does not surprise me that you would write something like that because there are times I write poems and I literally have to tame myself because I know I can be raw like that. But I'm like, Cindy, you want children to read your book. Yes,
Yes,
but put it in a way that it's a little seductive. It's you have to you were raw, but for me, you have to really get the essence of what I'm saying, you know.
I get you. Yeah.
But oh my God, I don't. Neil, do you think I can take another one of this? I don't know if I can take another one. Oh my God, you killing me. But yes, you're a guru. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This was amazing.
I'm glad you
So,
enjoyed it.
how did you feel when you were writing a poem? How did you
Well,
feel?
for lack of a better word, I was horny.
Okay.
Let me tell you what it is. All right. So, in my career as a writer,
Mm-hmm.
I've ghostwritten a few books for clients,
Mm-hmm.
and the number one niche is erotica. So
Okay.
I actually have written a lot of erotica for clients all around the world. Some of my
Mm-hmm.
own, some with other writers as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's a big selling market for a reason.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
what they say, right? This is sex sells. Hey.
there you go. There you go. But when I was writing that poem, it was more of a sense of
Mm-hmm.
longing for that intimacy, for that companionship. I believe I wrote that piece. I was single at the time I wrote that piece, and I think I just wanted to have, like, and again, that was during my era of spoken word. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
be performance. So I wrote everything with the mindset of, all right, how's this going to look on stage? How's it going to sound on stage? And I really wanted to just have something that, like, you if you wanted to have a definition of sex, you could just take this poem
Mm-hmm.
and then bam, this is it right here. So I wanted to capture
Yes.
every movement, every motion, every feeling in the progression,
Mm-hmm.
and just flow
Mm-hmm.
with it. I was like, so all right, let's get something together.
Oh my goodness. That was hot. That was hot. For those who are watching now, if y'all think it was hot, I want you to put all this. I don't want the likes, the blue ones. I want the red one. I want the fire sign. It was hot. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
For sure.
And is a way you formulated the words. You made me. I don't know for everybody else, but for me, you made me feel like I was in the moment when I was
Right.
having one of those best times of my life in that particular place. Okay. And I was just like, okay. Yes, Neil, I had to hang on. I had to my mind was going places, okay? And I didn't want it to go, but it was good because it made me feel that I'm still alive. Okay? Oh my God. I know
It's
my
a
heart,
part of
man,
who we
but
are.
what's that?
I said it's a part of who we are, so
Yes, it is. It is. It is.
I
Oh my
just want to
goodness.
embrace it.
Oh gosh. Whew, okay. I gotta go pray tonight, because I don't want to think of things. So, but it's good.
Yes.
So listen, so so the second book, the one that you took down, the ebook, right? Was it in a same erotica form?
The second book is mostly an erotica book.
So all the books
Elisa's
ever.
Elisa's Umbrella is romance,
Mm-hmm.
right? Apart from that one poem that I just did, you
Mm-hmm.
won't find anything as raw as that in the book, right?
That was raw beyond raw. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's more on a romantic and a social commentary skill, but Mona Lisa's smile is more of the erotic, more of the raw.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find even in Elisa's Umbrella, there were a lot of things that I held back on the expression, but I feel like some things are only best expressed as in their true form.
Mm-hmm.
So you would find a lot more of that type of work in Mona Lisa's smile. But don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, um, the is more, yeah, it's raw, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily all just erotica. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
presented in a harsher sense. So you find more stuff like that in the second book. In the third book, we're
Mm-hmm.
moving away from that altogether, and we're going more into um, moving away from the individual and going into the whole. And that's
Awesome.
what I
Awesome.
focus on in the third book. Yeah,
Well, I can't wait for that third book to really be
yeah,
rewritten and republished. I know it's
yeah.
going to be amazing. Whew. How many did you do? Two? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can take another one. It will make my heart stop there. So let me leave this show and try to find somebody else out there.
No, I'll take it easy on you.
Neil, I am going to. You had to prepare me for this. Why didn't you prepare me? You see, I'm beating on Neil now because. Oh my God! Hold on, my thing is gonna. I don't know why my thing is gonna go. My battery's going dead. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. This is the wrong time to do this, but my okay. I think we'll have time. My like
Would you
my
like
mm,
would you like a more serious poem or something still along the lines more romantic?
give me a serious poem, but let me get my. While you saying it, I'm gonna get myself off screen for me to be able to find my. I didn't understand. for me to get my charger because the
Okay.
laptop is going dead. So go ahead, and then I'm gonna let you set. I'm gonna put you solo on screen, okay?
Okay, sounds good. All right. So the piece that I'm gonna share with y'all today, it's more on a serious nature. It's called Pride, and I'm gonna let it speak for itself. Even in this dark time, look how bright we shine. Our future, in line with our past lives, looks past lies rained from lazy clouds, cradling hounds on tenure. Our past lives would smile for us now, proud. In between their laments and sighs, their burdens and cries, bruises, disappointments, and teary eyes, there remains pride. Even in this dark time, look how bright we shine. From Helen of the West to land of beaches and everything else, to everything is more and everything is less. To where else? Even as the masses of crowds look up to the hounds, open their mouths to learn what snow tastes like under Caribbean sun, and stick out their tongue, we sweat. Even when they decide to sell, even the seashells by the seaside, we're wet. We're soaking wet from the antecedation of the rolling tide. Even in this dark time, look how bright we shine. Our youth grow their minds online, even if they spend most of their time posing for likes and posting up lies. Even if their self esteem isn't high, can we blame them? We've been feeding them a piece of the pie charts, like we've never wanted to live fast and die hard. Even while their creativity is hijacked, they're jacked high on dopamine, aroused by the lows. No surprise if they take dope, I mean. Even when we treat our youth like flagpoles, bound by bonds of blue, black, white, and yellow, our ideals, unrealized, hoisted up their backs, round their throats, piercing their eyelids, forcing them to see what life is. Hostages held high for male winds to spread wide. They scream at us, never to be lynched again. They scream at us, never to be lynched again. They scream at us, never to be lynched again by anyone but ourselves. They scream at us, even in this dark time. My friends, look how bright we shine. Our ancestors smile. Even while they cry, they smile with pride. Our children's pride. Even in all the wrong that we provide, even in this dark time, my friends, look how bright we shine. Pride. Oh, I think you're on mute, Cindy. Yes.
That was hot, hot in
Glad
another
you liked it.
sense.
Glad you liked it. Yeah.
As much as we talk about, these erotic things, and then other things, we also have to talk about the things that are affecting our communities, affecting our morale, our youth.
Yes.
I said this was a beautiful piece.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful piece. I cannot wait for me to meet with all of you people that I have brought on this show.
Oh, wow.
Thou art, and all of you guys, for us to have a big poetry event. This is my prayer because I am so passionate about what you, your poems, passionate about the other. I'm telling you, I'm passionate about our our voice as poets. It's you are amazing, and I think the youth can learn a lot from you. What do you have? What planned to improve poetry in Saint Lucia? What are your plans? Do you have any uh, besides thou art? Do you plan on educating the youth about being a good poet or having a poetry school or I mean where you all can teach children the youth who are coming up or even the old even older ones who are coming up and want to get into the field of poetry. What do you plan to do for them?
Interesting you asked that because I actually just put together a program
Mm-hmm.
where I plan to teach poetry, how to understand it and how to compose it. So it's a program that offering to students, adults. You could be an experienced writer, or you could be just curious about the art form. But this is definitely something that will help you. It will boost your communication skills. It will boost your creativity, your confidence as well. Is you're definitely going to need if you're planning to perform on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna be helping you work with your stage presence, just being comfortable on the stage, comfortable enough to at least say your poem, get it across, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's a program that's offering going to be sessions online at first, but eventually in person. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Lauren said, "You are truly awesome." She said, "You are
Thank you,
truly
Lauren.
awesome." She said, "Listener," she said she could listen to you all night. Lauren, I think you will have to book a session together.
I'll let you know when the next concert is for sure.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want, you know what? I want, and Neil, tell me if you agree. And Lauren, you too. I want to be able to bring a group of you guys on here, okay? On this platform
Hmm.
as a webinar and just for us to just be reading poetry,
That sounds
reading
awesome.
poetry, giving tips, we could do that. Yeah. You
Yeah,
were thinking the same line as me. Neil said you could use some of the tips from the guru. Yes, from the guru. We
no
could, if we
problem, no
do that,
problem.
it is going to elevate us as poets because there's no one that cannot learn from the other. We all can do that. So if we can
I
just get for
agree.
us to come on here, because I have this platform where I can get so many people on here, and we could just maybe for 2 hours just dish out poems and get ideas and make. I have been planning that for a while. Just that Cindy Placide is so tired. She needs an assistant. Yes, but you were so amazing, and like I tell you, we have this poetry running in our blood. We have this literary art, this artistry running in our blood, and to know that you are so. I mean, listen. To be honest with you, you are better than me. I'm a poet in my own rights. I write my own style, but you are better than me, and it is what I
Oh,
want
thank you.
people to. I want people to understand this. Okay, it takes greatness to recognize greatness.
Yeah, definitely.
And you have to give people what is their due, no matter what you may feel. You are amazing. You are an amazing writer. You are an amazing poet, and
Thank
continue
you
the
very
good work. And I'm
much.
telling you, you are going to reach far. And I'm so looking forward for you to for that teaching of poetry. When you start that, you gotta call up your now. You can hide from me now because you my blood. So so
I
I'm gonna
speak
call
in
you
that.
dad. Yes, yes. What's up? What's going on with that stuff?
Don't worry. I'll
Yes,
send you the information very soon.
absolutely, absolutely. This was amazing. So, guys, before we continue, I want to ask you one more question. Before I continue, I want to ask you guys again to please share this live. People gotta hear this erotic thing and tell them make sure you go through all of it, all the poems, okay? But I want you guys to share this live. There's also a little button that says stars. It doesn't take much for you to give somebody some stars, you know. So give, you know, share some love, like, share, and give some stars. Also, tag somebody. You know, tell somebody about this show. Tell somebody about this show because this is amazing and we need more like minds like yourself. I don't care if you know somebody in Europe, in wherever you know the person, and they're willing to come up here and let their voice be heard. Let them speak, you know, their truth and let people know who they are as performers, as poets, as artists, whatever. You can refer them to me. Okay. Now I have so many people on my list. It's just that life is get so busy. But I know this month, next month, and the following months, I'm gonna be so busy because I gotta catch up with everyone that I want to bring on the show. That makes sense. And I'm also writing. Now, guys, I have some great news. I don't know if I told you guys that
What
I
news is
am a
that?
third time author.
Oh,
Did I say? I didn't say. I'm so bad. I am a third time author. Okay. So my first two books, let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. My first two books, oh my gosh, where are they? Okay. Hold up 1 second. I'm having a little trouble here. I'm not liking. My first two books were entitled Poetry. When Life Stood in Silence was my first book, and my second book was my first book. Hold on, where am I? Give me 1 second. My first book. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. For those of you who do not know, okay, I'm going to tell you. My first book was entitled. I'm going to put it on the screen, Anthony. Okay, When Life Stood in Silence. That was published in 20, I think 2019. My second book was A Mighty Calm. So the first book was when I was in all my turmoil, my grief, suicidal thoughts were overcoming me, and I wrote this book. Somebody called me and they told me they love this book, the first book so much. The second book was almost an uprising. Now, my third book, which I just released, actually it was published on the 20th of August, but due to COVID, I could not announce that it was already published. So my third book is entitled, let me see if I can show you for those of you who have not seen. Let me see. It is entitled Mighty What the Skies Told Me by Cindy Placid. This is my third book. What the Skies Told Me. Now, if you like my first and my second book, you are absolutely going to love my third book, What the Skies Told Me. Okay? And I had a pleasure of reading two of my poems from that book on emancipation, celebration of emancipation. And not to take away from your spotlight, Anthony, but I want to read one
oh, that's
poem in that
fine.
book.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
It says, "Unity the world, congrats, you are the best." Okay, I have a few announcements, but you know, let you read let me read one of my poems from that book. And I it is about basically about talking about our lives as slaves, okay? The demoralization. I have two poems, but I want to read just one, just to whet your appetite. So what poem is it? So it is entitled Minimization, Slavery Part 2. Okay? So let me go ahead. Discrimination has an aggressive rebirth in vividly open turf. Racism continues to be bred in secrecy. There is no shame in the hypocrisy. As Earth rotates on its axis, we continue to suffer for our blackness. The indignity that a signed paper signifies our freedom when Earth's surface was extended to all human creation, not only liberated to others and not for some. Yet we are oppressed, demoralized by an ethnicity who shared a common bond, a hunger for superiority. Today, minimization of the masses continues the trends of slavery, microaggressive traits, insults, invalidations, hostile communication, and the mere disgust at our appearance for the color of our skin. Still, we will not break or cower. Till our last breath, we will hold our power. It baffles me that blacks cause so much intimidation when we just hold a fraction of the world's population. Years of enduring subjugation, still you cannot eradicate nor silence our race. Take a back seat with your inherited greedy ways. There's enough to go around to benefit humans of every race. To what end were your bonds of slavery? But to continue to appease, oppress, inflict wickedness, to build wealth, trying to bring us into extinction with your unforgiving actions. Thanks to your breeding farms, you made a great gift in growing our population. Despite years of enslaved captivity, we carry on boldly because we are warriors in hierarchy, holding our own, kings and queens. That's our legacy. Titles that were ripped from us during your years of cowardry. So that's my poem. That is my poem. So I
I
am
like it.
excited about this book.
I
I'm
like
excited.
it.
Thank you. I'm excited about the book. And it's called, my new book is, you can find it on Amazon, and you can find it on my website, right? CindyPlacid.com. And also, if you also go to my also other website, rise2prosperity.com, you can also find that. Also, I have another announcement. I have so many announcements there. Okay, Anthony. So I was recognized in the Look magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show it on screen. In the Look magazine. And I didn't know about it. I just found out today. Somebody sent it to me. I'm like, what? I'm in the loop. Yeah, so I had did that one time, just an interview, and I think it was almost a year, and I never heard it. So I didn't. I said, okay, everybody's busy, but my story was aired in the Loop magazine. So let me show it to
Oh,
you guys.
nice.
This is the story. Diaspora rising, city Placitas struggles into helpful platform.
Nice, nice.
And it says, you need to go and read that story. Oh my gosh, I look pretty. Uh, and it says, if you believe that you have experienced the words that life has to offer, Cindy Plastic can explain how she went from wanting to end her life to motivating people with a program, Poetry and Perspective with Placide. I almost cried when I saw this.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I almost cried. Good evening, Lucita. Oh my gosh, I'm in the famous. That's a little old me. But I'm thankful that I was recognized, because you know what? I sometimes, we do work and then we don't see, we do not feel that it's going anywhere. But at least
Mm-hmm.
I know that people are recognizing what I'm doing here. They're recognizing my work. And I am so excited to take this further, because it's a passion for me to just be able to give myself to others, to help others grow. And that's one of the biggest things for me. I am a very generous person. you know I like to give back, and so I think it is paying off for me. Okay, so now I have another announcement.
Okay.
It's not about me this time. I'm always doing some crazy as if my lip don't want to send it. Don't do that. I just be crazy sometimes. I be acting. But on a professional note, I have another announcement. I have an announcement to make about something that is happening. Let me find that slide for you guys. Something that is happening and that I think everybody needs to. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, please tell me it's there. Oh my god. All right, give me 1 second. And it is not as I wanted it to be. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me get another screen. So Anthony, while we're waiting, tell
Mhm.
us, tell us about your next venture.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
My next venture,
Mm-hmm.
uh, well, the venture I'm on right now is that I shifted from selling just my work to teaching persons the things that I've picked up in the different industries that I've worked in, and also in the theater and arts industry. And I'm referring to workshops on bettering your communication, bettering your effectiveness, bettering your conversion. If you are a salesperson, then you understand how important conversion is,
Mm-hmm.
and confidence. So I like to think of it as the three C's: communication, creativity, confidence, and that
Mm-hmm.
improving those three things would give you the result, which is the fourth C, that's conversion. So
Mm-hmm.
just being better and getting more results from that, your output. So that's what my venture is right now. I'm offering programs on that. I still do ghostwriting. So if anybody has a book idea and they want some help with it,
Mm-hmm.
reach out to me. So I can definitely help with that. But right now I'm focused on courses, programs, training, and a little bit of ghostwriting here and there.
Awesome. Okay, so I think I have found my slide. So I'm gonna go and share now. So I have an announcement because I have Red Moon. Good evening, sweetheart. I have an announcement, and there's an event happening. I always like to promote people. There's an event happening for our Genie Creole is coming up, and a lot of
Right.
so. Oh my gosh! Can you hear it?
Yes, we can.
Stop! I don't know why it went ahead of me, but Lord have mercy, it went ahead of me. I can't see. Okay. So I'm about to share this screen, and I know the person knows what I'm talking about. I can't seem to get to share my screen. Hold on a second. Why is it not allowing me to share my screen? Uh, entire. Okay. Okay, guys. So there it is. That's my announcement. My Patrick. Hey! Me want a glass of squash and a piece of coupe. For me, Muffy Thin, me bring you good news. You know that I like soup. In honor of Creole Heritage Month, Mama Sylvia and Twisted Melee presents a back in time event of the 60s to the 80s on 7 October from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Creole outfits, crimping, meaning, chile, can, bell bottom, the ropes, baguas. There will be prizes for the who wear it the best and who wear it the funniest. There'll be a mini Creole food fair, all the different Creole eats. Come eat it, come try it. It will be delicious. We blast from the best music, soul, reggae, gold, rhythm and blues. Ay, 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 Creole salsa. I don't know, you name it. Hey, from the dynamic, energizing, and entertaining DJ Shy Boy, DJ McClad, DJ Professor. Ooh, it's only 10 complimentary. And the Wisteria in Forest Gate, E79HL. You want more information, my Patrick? After I give you all that information already, or call Mama Sylvia at 07951510368. Don't miss it, oh. I mean, Let me go look for my broco. Oh my gosh. Nice to share. Hold on a second. I don't even know what's happening here. I'm hearing no feedback. Okay. Yeah. So this is an event happening in London. This is an event happening in London. So guys, go and support, go support, go support, go support. I am going to say thank you so much to Mr. Alfred. I just wanted to make these announcements, and I also wanted to say I'm not going to put it on screen again, but I'm going to say if you have someone who is suffering with mental illness, mental health, mental suicide, contemplating suicide, please call the suicide hotline. In America, it's 988, or in St. Lucia, the suicide hotline is 203. So help somebody get out of that rut, get somebody, save a life, and look out for other people. Listen, it was an amazing, amazing time with you, Anthony. I get to find my new cousin, and I know I'm gonna get
Well,
new cousins coming on. I'm gonna find out, and let me tell you, Anthony, this show has opened me up to so much family. It has opened my eyes to so much that people are trying to, a lot of people are suppressed in what they try to do as poets, and for me to hear you have these amazing poems, these books, and for me to hear there's Thou Art, for me to hear, people are doing so many amazing things in St. Lucia. I know there's so many other poetry groups that I haven't even, poets that I haven't even met. I just want to thank you for your contribution to St. Lucia, contribution to the poetry, the poets in St. Lucia, and of course, our contribution to our wonderful family as a poet. Okay, so
yes, definitely.
thank you so much for being on Harry First. It has been an amazing night. I know we started late, but I know you have to go, and I have to go too because my last. Oh, I can see still my last. So I want to thank you so much, guys. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. And to all my viewers who
So,
participated and who were here and who were cheering you on and then just being here with us, I want to say thank you so much. The show would not be what it is without you guys. It would not be what it is without you, with all your support. So please like and share, 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 share. I also have a YouTube channel that I'm going to be working on. It's already up, but I'm just not doing too much with it, but I'm going to be doing more with it. So my guests, all my guests I have on this show, they are also on my YouTube channel. So guys, without further ado, yes, Lauren, I know I put you on the spot. Oh, well, I always say again, there are no tap outs. Let your voice be heard. This is the slogan for the show. Let your voice be heard. Okay, all voices need to be heard, no matter what is going on. And Les Brown said, "You may fall many times, but if you fall, make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. We don't tap out. We continue to help. We continue to grow." I love you all, to all my viewers and to my guests. Thank you so much for being here. And look out for our show tomorrow afternoon, with Jamila series, where we are going to talk about grief. Okay, grief and the grief language. A lot of people need to hear that. So invite people tomorrow. It's at 10 p.m. London time, Europe time, and it's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yes, Lucita, thank you so much. I love you too, baby. So, I will talk to you soon and have an amazing night. Until next time, good night. Thank you, Mr. Alfred. Okay.
bye-bye.